Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Malt channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back yet again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. We are at episode 7 of the Perfume Trials series. And in this series, I do talk about some fragrances that may or may not be hyped, but that I am surely curious about. And so if I'm curious about it, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of y'all that are curious about it. So today's episode 7, we're going to talk about a very limited edition Clive Christian perfume, guys. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hang on tight. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to the channel, guys. Again, we're headed towards 16,000 subscribers. So if you like what you see, you like what you hear, please do not forget to like and subscribe and support the channel. And the fragrance that we will be talking about today is none other than Clive Christian 150th anniversary, 1 out of 2. This is none other than Contemporary. Contemporary by Clive Christian. This one right here, this fragrance is 1 out of 2, with the other one being Timeless. And how I bumped into this fragrance was when I was trying both of these at the Beverly Hills Perfumery, and that place is pretty much like my little Toys R Us over there in Beverly Hills. And I tried Contemporary and Timeless. They are in very, very similar bottles, and one of them kind of struck a chord. One of them had an effect on me that I said, hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna review this in full. And to me, that was Contemporary. And so I got a vial right here from Beverly Hills Perfumery. Thank you, Alan. And we will be talking about this fragrance today. Again, I don't know if this is hyped or not, but I don't see a lot of reviews on it, probably because it's limited or it's expensive. But I'm sure a lot of you guys and gals want to know what this is about. Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay guys, now let's talk about Clive Christian Contemporary. And my first impression upon spraying this fragrance was that, oh boy, this is really contemporary. really contemporary, guys. Because Clive Christian, I mean, this is an old brand, like 150 years as they've said. And, you know, this goes back to the roots of, you know, British nobility. You know, you get a classy, upscale, old school British feel on almost all their base fragrances from 1872 to number 1 to X. I mean, that's what I know. But of course, as time passes by, Clive Christian, they got to keep up with the times, and they have to release these fragrances that may or may not have that same, you know, old school British nobility character right there. So this one, definitely contemporary, as it says on the label. And I will say that the reason why it's very contemporary to me, very different to me, was because this one started off with some powdery violet. Okay, powdery violet is the backdrop of this entire opener. It's in a big amount, huge aura scent, huge projecting powdery violet, guys. And that one was a shock to me. And in a way, I was thinking maybe I thought about Timeless. Maybe I grabbed the other bottle. Maybe I liked the other bottle because the bottles are pretty similar. They look almost exactly the same, and my eyesight's pretty bad when it comes to, like, you know, farsightedness. So, I mean, I may have gotten Timeless and thought that that was better, but I was shocked with a huge dose of powdery violet. Okay, not what I expected at all, but of course, I mean, I'm pretty flexible. I mean, it says contemporary, so that's what I got, a huge dose of powdery violet. Then after 5 minutes of that initial shock that I got, smelling a huge dose of violet, blackberry does come in. Yes, blackberry. You're gonna get this fruity blackberry come in about 5 minutes to save the day, in my opinion. And so it becomes this juxtaposition of fruity and powdery floral. Okay, so it's gonna be violet, powdery violet with some blackberry, fruity blackberry. And of course, that is totally different, guys, okay? It's totally different from what I know Clive Christian does. But then again, you know, this is just them, you know, risk-taking right there. And if you are the type that's looking for something totally new, so here's where, you know, there's this conflict. You have some people that love perfume that are saying, oh man, we're getting the same stuff over and over. I need something new. I need something different. Trust me, this is different. This is different because it opens with just violet and then it's going to be like fruity violet. Okay, so again, for me, not necessarily my cup of tea, But I guess this is something that, I mean, if you try it and you try it over and over, you kind of get used to it, and maybe it'll grow on you, okay? Maybe it'll grow on me as I finish this vial over time. But it's a nice powdery blast of violet, like I said, with some blackberries. I think that it's a nice sillage as well. I think it's uplifting. I think it's a great mood enhancer to begin with. It's just different, guys. It's totally different. Now, if you're testing this fragrance like me and, you know, you're kind of like lost in this like very different intro, this fragrance starts to settle in at the 15-minute mark with some familiar notes, guys, okay? So sage comes in as well as pepper. Within the 15-minute mark, it's still gonna smell fruity and floral with that violet, but again, there's gonna be some familiarity here. You're gonna get some greenness, some herbal sage, some aromatic sage, as well as some pepper to add some spice, some base into this thing right here, guys. But again, I mean, to me, it was so different. It was so contemporary. I really couldn't shake off the violet, to be honest. I felt like due to the violet, I mean, the start, really powdery, strong violet and fruitiness, like floral fruity, definitely, I was just like, man, this is definitely not a men's perfume, or unless you're leaning towards femme leaning type of perfumes right here. But to me, I thought that it was a femme perfume. And I looked around, and there was a site actually that was actually selling this fragrance, Contemporary, and it says right there on their site, this is preferred by women. Okay, it says right there, preferred by women. So, I mean, I was just like, oh, there you go. That's exactly what I was thinking. I think that women would actually wear this a lot more, would get a lot more out of this fragrance versus the guys. And I thought about, man, all the Clive Christian fanboys that probably just bought it, the guys that bought this fragrance because it's a limited edition perfume, probably, you know, getting disappointed and getting buyer's remorse as soon as they got it, because it's definitely a femme-leaning intro, you know what I mean? And, you know, it's kind of like funny because the bottles are green and silver, and they kind of make you think about 1872, that it's like a masculine collector's edition perfume. But they should have just put this in red or like the blue bottles to kind of denote that this could be a femme perfume, because that's basically what you get right here. Now, this fruity violet combo will last up to 40 minutes, guys. Up to 40 minutes. It's a long one. Again, you can't just shake it off. It's not gonna evolve in about 40 minutes. And then after 40 minutes, you're gonna get a continuum note that will extend the sensation up to 2 hours, and that is lavender. Okay, so lavender is that continuum note that extends this smell past 40 minutes all the way up to 2 hours. Of course, there's a stark difference with lavender, in my opinion, being more uplifting and more aromatic, but you can definitely see that seamless continuum from the violet to the lavender right there. And again, you've got more of the same, floral with hints of fruitiness and a little bit of spice, a little bit of green, but definitely you got that violet all the way. You know, it goes all the way for 2 hours. Again, to me, denoting that it's a femme perfume. But I do like this lavender part because I love lavender. It's an uplifting, nice, mood enhancing part of this fragrance. And again, you get this all the way up to 2 hours. Now, this opening to mid part right here, guys, is lively, it's fresh, it's uplifting. But then after 2 hours, this is where this fragrance curves, guys, and it goes into warm, spicy mode. That's basically what happens right here. So in the mid, after 2 hours, you've got geranium, which is your rosy and green facet right here, spicy as well, and then it's gonna be mixed in with some nutmeg spice, a cashmere accord to set up this warm spicy gradient that totally curves this fragrance, guys. And let me tell you, because of this warm spicy rosy facet right here of this fragrance Contemporary, this makes this fragrance very versatile, guys, because you have the intro that is usable during, you know, outdoor scenarios, springtime, but then again you have this warm, spicy, rosy aspect that can be used in semi-formal to formal types of outings, and you can wear it in the nighttime as well. So it's a nice transition right here. Now, this warm and spicy mid right here lasts for another 3 hours, guys, And this mid, although it's pretty nice, it's a warm, spicy, versatile mid. In my opinion though, it's nothing new. I mean, it feels like usual type of evolution from a lot of fragrances, starting with uplifting and then going into warm and spicy. It's nice, but it's something that, I don't know, if I paid like 400 something dollars for 50 ml on an anniversary limited edition perfume, kind of expected more. But this is kind of like a usual transition in femme fragrances, going warm and spicy. So it's nice, it's just not that crazy. It's just not that groundbreaking to me. Now the Drydown of Clive Christian Contemporary, I have to say, unfortunately, it's pretty much the same thing. You know, it's the same as the mid. There's a lack of gusto here, I guess, on the Drydown. I mean, they could have added some really nice, interesting notes that would really make this fragrance pop right here. I mean, this is where Roja is good at. Roja and Boudicca, when they release a very expensive fragrance, they do add some gusto on the notes mid to end. And right here, unfortunately, you get a very common ending to a lot of perfumes, guys. And I'm talking about amber, musk, and patchouli. Yeah, I mean, how many times are we gonna smell that? Amber, musk, and patchouli. It's a very common dry down combination that unfortunately is here in this fragrance after that warm, spicy mid, guys. And then later on, this fragrance gets woodier with some cedarwood, some papyrus, and then there's some smoky vetiver. And you really feel the enthusiasm in my voice right here. It's an okay dry down. It's a lingering scent type of dry down. Again, they could have added some more. They could have made some really good changes, you know, setting up a 150th anniversary perfume, guys. But turns out the contemporary part of this fragrance was like the first part, and that's like a femme start, probably like a femme perfume, like a unisex to femme type of start. But then the rest of it, from mid to dry down, is kind of meh. I mean, did they do their research or not? Probably not. Definitely, I would say that this fragrance is not worth the $400 that it is for 50 ml. And I will revisit Timeless. I'm gonna definitely order a sample of Timeless and revisit it. Maybe that was the one that got me. But this Contemporary, I think this is a fragrance that is for women. And I think that, you know, this is for guys that are, you know, unisex leaning. If you guys love violet, then you might really like this fragrance right here. Now, performance-wise, this fragrance lasted up to 9 hours. Significant scent for me, with the first 2 hours being a strong aura scent with a scent trail, that violet lavender part with that fruitiness. And then the mid was like a draw-in scent, and then the dry down a lingering scent. So it's not a weak fragrance, definitely not. But then, of course, after the 2 hour mark, it just becomes a lingering scent up to 9 hours total for me, guys. This fragrance, like I said, as advertised, is contemporary. So this is definitely for those people that are more flexible, that are very open to unisex fragrances if you're a guy. But definitely, I think this is a femme fragrance. This is something that maybe my wife would like, to be honest, and not for me. It's definitely not my cup of tea right here. And I think that this fragrance for a woman is a grabber slash upscale grabber. Okay, so this fragrance can be used on casual instances all the way up to semi-formal to formal. That's where I see this spring, summer, fall, winter, very usable all year for the ladies, okay? But for me, not for me. This is not a fragrance that I'm really attuned to. That is my no hype review, or that is my Perfume Trials review on this fragrance, guys. Clive Christian Contemporary from the 150th anniversary, $400. It's a limited edition perfume. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried it. I reckon there's not a lot of people that have, but if you have tried it, please let me know in the comments what you guys and gals think. And again, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video. God bless, take care, peace.